Our Across the Aisle segment tonight. According to reports, Democratic Congresswoman Karen Bass is third on Joe Biden's list of possible vice presidential running mates. According to Axios, Bass has slipped behind Kamala Harris and Susan Rice in the Veep stakes, likely because of revelations about her ties to communist Cuba and the Church of Scientology. In 2016, after Cuban dictator Fidel Castro died, Bass called him Comandante en Jefe, a term of endearment. In the 1970s, Congresswoman Bass worked in construction in Cuba as part of the Venceremos Brigade, a youth organization founded by the Castro regime and the Radical Students for Democratic Society. Bass also has embraced the cult of Scientology, speaking at one of their events. Even if Joe Biden does not choose her to be his running mate, the fact that she made it so far in the process is very worrying. So should Joe Biden disavow Congresswoman Bass? With me now, Democratic strategist Kelly Hyman. Kelly, hi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Okay, last week you and I talked about, in general, the 11 finalist list of ladies that Joe Biden was considering to be his vice president. And you said any of them would be great because you're on Joe Biden's side. Let me ask you, though, with these new revelations about Congresswoman Bass, is this something that Joe Biden should distance himself from since she has been so buddy-buddy with the communist Castro regime in Cuba?
Well, I would disagree with what you said. In regards to Scientology, that she hasn't embraced it. She's come out and basically explained her position that she spoke at an event, and this is before all the revelations came out about Scientology and the fact that she was trying to find common ground. She is a Christian, and she was talking to them. In regards to the Cuba comment, she said that she has made a mistake. We are all human. We all make mistakes. And she said she made a mistake in regards to that. And she has said that she is a Democrat. And so that's, her position. And she stands by that. And, we as human beings, we know people that have different political views. You and I have different political views. And but that doesn't mean that we can't have conversations with one another and agree to disagree.
Sure, but the thing is, neither you or I are communists, which is a good thing because we do have common ground on that. Here's my problem.
And neither is she.
Well, I certainly hope not. However, when she was asked on Meet the Press by Chuck Todd about her comments, she said, I wouldn't say it again. I made a mistake. I didn't realize people in Florida were so sensitive about it. This kind of comment lands fine in California. That's essentially paraphrasing what she said. Her response when Chuck Todd said, listen, many people view the Castro regime as stifling, as oppressive, as tyrannical. Her response was, yeah, maybe. And that's all she responded, even though she said she regretted the comment. Don't you think that shows a fundamental lack of understanding about the severity of the oppression of the communism of the Castros in Cuba?
No, I don't think it is. Look at our own President Trump when he was asked about coronavirus and how many people died. And he basically said it is what it is. That was a flippant, offhand comment that he made about the American people. We have over 150 deaths and 1,000 people a day are dying. And this is the comment.
How many people have been killed by the Castro regime in Cuba?
I don't know, off the top of my head, but she said that she made a mistake in regards to that.
But she just flippantly said, yeah, maybe. As the Castro regime shot political dissidents, has oppressed people, deprived them of health care, used the education system to completely brainwash them. It's like a third world country there because of communism, because of the closed nature of an oppressive regime. And this woman, she went there in the 1970s as a young radical with an organization whose purpose was to foster solidarity with the Cuban regime, not the Cuban people, the Cuban regime, and to oppose U.S. policy in Cuba. That's pretty problematic. It's okay for Democrats to say that that's problematic. It doesn't make them a less good Democrat.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying, but she has said that she is not a communist. Come out. She is a Christian woman, and that she believes in our country and democracy, and that she has been always, a Democrat, and, stands by that. And in regards to the Castro comment, as I said before, she said she made a mistake in saying that. And, we're humans. We learn, we evolve, we make mistakes, and we evolve and become a better person because of it.
I don't disagree with that. I just don't see the evolution because part of her so-called apology was just shrugging off, yeah, maybe people don't think that Castro was a good person, that he was oppressive. That doesn't show transformation to me. Really, I think, to me, it's a lose-lose situation for her. Either she embraced radical things, which she did. Her actions speak louder than her words. Her actions show that she embraced that. Or she's so incredibly naive that she doesn't understand that the Castro regime was literally deadly. She doesn't understand that Scientology is a cult, and that shows a fundamental lack of judgment. If I were Biden, I'd cut her from the consideration list, because I think she'd just be a liability at this point. You can have a final word, though.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show, and I look forward to talking to you again once Biden picks his VP. And so it'll be interesting to see who he picks, and we'll have to see what happens.
You're welcome back anytime. Thanks, Kelly.